In the new PSLE scoring system, student scores will reflect their own level of achievement, regardless of how their peers perform. Students will be less finely differentiated by their scores. Under the current system, a student receives a raw mark for each subject. This raw mark shows how good he is in that subject. The raw mark is then transformed into a subject T-score using a formula. This subject T-score shows how the student has done relative to his peers in that subject. Take for example Brian, who scores a raw mark of 80 in mathematics. Brian has, in fact, done very well. Brian's raw mark is transformed into the subject T-score. His T-score depends on how well his peers have performed in that subject. So if most of his peers score lower than he does, then Brian's T-score for mathematics will be high. But if most of his peers score higher than he does, then his T-score will be low. Brian may wonder how he can get ahead of his peers instead of focusing his energy on improving his own learning. Under the current system, every raw mark counts and makes a difference to the T-score. This means students are very finely differentiated by their scores. The 4 subject T-scores are added to get the T-score aggregate. Brian's T-score aggregate is 230. He finds himself placed lower than Jane, whose aggregate is 231. But that 1 point difference between Brian and Jane may not mean that Jane is better prepared for secondary school than Brian. Under the new system, a student receives an achievement level for each subject. This corresponds to a range of marks based on the learning objectives of the curriculum. Each achievement level has a set of expectations. If the student fulfills those expectations, he will receive the achievement level. His score will not be affected by how his peers have done. So, if Brian scores 80 marks in mathematics, he will receive the corresponding achievement level, even if most of his peers score higher than he does. This system shows Brian's level of achievement in each subject. This move to achievement levels also means that students will be less finely differentiated, since each achievement level corresponds to a range of marks. Students who perform similarly will be grouped in the same achievement level. The achievement levels from the 4 subjects are added to get the PSLE score, which ranges from 4 to 32. Students will receive one of 29 PSLE scores. This is compared to about 200 T-score aggregates under the current system. With these changes, we want Brian to be better able to focus on his own progress and enjoy learning.